Recently on social media and in past presidential debates, I've heard a lot of talk about our increasing prison population, which has motivated me to choose a subject closely related to how and why that might be. So I will be discussing our incarceration rates, a possible solution, and how effective that possible solution can be. As to my first topic, our incarceration rates right now are alarming. According to an article written by Wendy Sawyer and Pete Wagner, about a quarter of our prison population is made up of people simply violating their parole. Imagine you finished a 5-year prison sentence, you work tirelessly to find a new job, and when you finally do, you simply forget to report your whereabouts to your parole officer, so you end up getting detained and lose the job you worked so hard to find. Another thing affecting our incarceration rates is that people are kept in prison longer than needed for their rehabilitation. According to Sawyer's article, people with violent or sex-related crimes are 20% less likely to be rearrested, with that percentage increasing with age. And it makes you wonder how many lives we could have lost during the pandemic with our least dangerous and our most susceptible demographics stuck together in prison. And I know what you might be thinking, why focus on people with violent or sex-related crimes whenever we could focus on people with minor drug charges per se? However, according to the same article, 1/4 of prisoners in state prisons is all that is consisted of people with drug charges. And there are people there for much lesser crimes. So, focusing on people with drug charges is not the most effective and is not even the least drastic. We need to focus on our justice system as a whole. Which leads me to my second topic, the alternative, restorative justice. Lindsay Pointer is an associate professor at the Center for Justice Reformation, and she describes restorative justice as repairing damage done on both parties, the inflicted and the inflictor, by bringing them together to a consensual and mediated dialogue. She also frequently asks her students about time crimes were inflicted upon them and people near them, and they share a common need for, quote, safety, understanding, validation, information, apology, and repair. These are not the values fulfilled by our current justice system that focuses on doling out punishment. Imagine the last time someone seriously hurt you. Did you seek revenge or punishment, or were your values aligned with Pointer's students? I've discussed our increasing incarceration rates and a possible solution. Now let me speak to that solution's effectiveness. I will do that by discussing its work in our schools today. Schools with a restorative justice approach to discipline tend to have a better relationship between its students and better social skills developing in its students. According to an article by Ernesto Lodi and 4 other colleagues, 8 independent studies report a decrease in aggression, violence, and bullying in schools with a restorative justice approach. Also, 5 separate studies show an increase in unfair treatment between races in its classroom in schools with a normal non-tolerance approach. Did anyone have a friend in school that they grew up with that got into a fight? I did. And if you did, you probably remember the effect that not only the altercation, but the suspension or maybe expulsion had on both parties. You probably also know that if both parties were to have just sat down together and had a calm and candid conversation, all the animosity between them could have just disappeared, and both parties would have been better for it. I've talked to you about the overcrowding of our U.S. prison system and how our current justice system plays a role in that, a possible solution, restorative justice, and how restorative justice has already been proven effective today. My purpose in this is to open your eyes to new possibilities of justice and possibly restorative justice, as it has mine. Thank you.